So good morning and welcome to Breaking Dawn back in Trinidad and Tobago. It is Thursday, and of course when it's Thursday we have industrial relations consultant and business consultant Mr. Ramkumar Narayan Singh coming in this morning. We have Dr. Watson coming in at the end of the second half of the second hour. But in this first hour we're going to get down to business here. A few things popping in the headlines, and we're going to have a discussion. We're going to take some phone calls. It's great to be back home, man. Big up the Barbados BTMI, and of course you got to say thanks to them and all the courtesies extended to us during our stay in Barbados for the coverage of Crop Over, not only for Chris and I and Breaking Dawn, but of course for the other part of the team as well, Brooklyn, Obi, and of course Vaughn. And we do have to acknowledge once again, as I get things started here in Trinidad and Tobago, the Antigua Festivals Committee and the Tourism Ministry for accommodating us again, and the fine folks, of course, out at Siboney Beach Club. Morning. I know to the manager, I know we were supposed to do the interview yesterday, but we had to fly out. All right, so next time when we come there, we will obviously sit down and have that discussion with you. All right, and big up my boy Chris, man. Chris Alexander, who is the food and beverage manager out at Siboney. That's my boy. That's my real boy. When you're flying in September, don't worry. Once we're not in New York, we got to go. All right, so, you know, it was a terrific, what was it, just short of 2 weeks, Chris? About, it was so long, boy. If Chris leaves Trinidad and Tobago for 2 days, it's too long. If you go for 2 hours in Tobago, it's too long. That boy does get homesick fast, boy. I lied. But it was good. It was good. It was great. We're gonna be back in Barbados for Food and Rum. Our next stop is New York City Labor Day. That'll be in September. So we have about 4 weeks, about 3 to 4 weeks before we're out again. And we're gonna be staying in Jersey City. So we'll be in a different part of New York City this time round, so we'll be able to get out there. And last time we went to Times Square and some other places that we were able to show in my first visit to New York City and seeing the city, you know, in person. And now we're going to get out to Jersey City and we'll be able to give you some different experiences out there. We're already planning as we move forward, so it should be an interesting trip to New York and Miami. All right, Miami will be in October, and then Food and Rum is in November. So, and we are hitting Panama City as well on the way back from Food and Rum. So we'll have Breaking On for at least 3 or 4 days in Panama City before we head back to Trinidad. Okay? So we're going to give you the tour. We're giving you the tour, as is usually the case. All right. So talking about all of that, let's get down to brass tacks here and get down into the headlines of the day as we get things started. All right, so give me the Army now. The Army joins the U.S. fight, or the fight, sorry. That's not, man. These things just pop up, boy. Right, let me get that headline. Army joins U.S. fight against cartels. Southern Command says Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force will be part of a new joint regional unit targeting drug trafficking networks. Amen and hallelujah. Amen and a hallelujah. And I'm saying that it is about time. I've been talking about this for years. For years we've been asking what it is the Army does do. They ain't going to fight no war. Right? We have no war going on. Good? Put them to use. I think it was either before the last election, or I think it was before, or leading up to it, when we had all these border problems and so on and so forth. For many years, I was saying, look, Trinidad and Tobago is not that difficult to secure. We have a defense force set up military camps along the coastline, right, to stop all these drugs and guns and everything from coming into the country, along, of course, with the vessels that the Coast Guard had and, was parked up at Staubles Bay for the best part of between 2015 and 2025. But we have those vessels. You have to put these vessels to use. And I'm going to tell you something, eh? Yesterday, Chris, when we was flying into Trinidad, right? I'll tell all of this, eh? As we're talking about the drug trade here, because the drug trade, once we could disrupt this drug trade and move away from being a transshipment point, life is going to be so much sweeter in Trinidad and Tobago, I wouldn't believe. Right? But I was thinking yesterday, right? You know, people like to bring up OPV talk. But I'll say this. Next time you take a trip, when you're flying back into Trinidad and Tobago, right? Yesterday I looked down through the window, and you wouldn't believe I was thinking about illegal trade, illegal drug trade and these kind of things, right? And I'm looking down, boy. And when you look down and you see this body of water that is the ocean that we are surrounded by, good? When you're further out, when you're coming in open waters then, I remember Gary Griffith explained this, and I didn't understand it completely until yesterday when I was looking out the window of a plane. And then I said, you know, if anybody else does this and thinks, right? I mean, I understood it to a great deal, maybe 90% of it. But then when you get, you know, just seeing the ocean, that big body of water, and I thought, because this, people still become the OPV conversation, but as a form of some nonsensical conversation they still like to have. I say, no, an open patrol vessel out in those open waters with such a large area to cover could have never been effective, right? In terms of disrupting our drug trade. When Griffith was security minister and they won the arbitration under the partnership, and they bought these, they took the money and they bought I think it was 12 or 13 damming vessels. But anyway, I remember him saying, and we've said this before on the show, that these are faster, more inland vessels to secure the coastline. So as you get closer to Trinidad and Tobago now, you could picture now in your mind 6 or 7, because you would put them on rotation, right? Or let's say 5 or 6 at a time of these vessels with the type of speed that they have, patrolling the coastlines. And when you compare that you're seeing from up above, right? It's chalk and cheese. The plan with the damming vessels was far more logical and would have been far more effective than OPV vessels out in open water. And I think that is because it's only when you're looking down, coming in, when you're looking down, right, any overhead shot, whether it's a drone shot or me looking out of the window of a plane, it's only then you just get an understanding of how big the ocean is, you know. So that drug trade and guns and ammunition trade and all these trades has been taking place on the sea. Scientists say we've probably only explored maybe 10 or 15% of the ocean itself, right? The vast majority of the ocean is a small percentage, but the vast majority of the ocean has not been explored. We don't even know what it have down there. We only know what we've seen and explored, right? And that's how massive it is, right? So to secure Trinidad and Tobago properly, you have to have certain mechanisms in place. And the army setting up on the coastline and things like that, and then you have your damming vessels or your Coast Guard vessels circling and things, you know what I mean? And you have them in rotation to make sure that when downtime for maintenance and so on, so that you could rotate. It makes sense. But we didn't want that at the time, but hopefully we're here and we will have a little more technology added to the play, and this joint regional unit, which will target drug trafficking, is going to have some sort of effect, all right? So we'll see where that goes. But these are things in motion, And, there's nothing, I don't, there's nothing bad to say about it. I think we're starting to utilize the defense force now in the fight against crime. Not just land, but, sea and the trade and everything that we have to get under control. Government strengthens counter-terrorism strategy. Trinidad and Tobago is now placing greater emphasis on financial oversight, border controls, and interagency cooperation as part of its counter-terrorism strategy as government moves to implement the 2025 National Counter-Terrorism Strategy. This as the second meeting of the Interministerial Committee for Counter-Terrorism yesterday examined the role of various ministries in the national strategy, where Finance Minister Dave Tanku said financial systems are central to efforts to disrupt terrorist financing and organized criminal activity. All right? And, well, that's other moves being made as it relates to countering terrorism and so on and so forth. So we'll see where that leads as well. But implementation, of course. The Prime Minister says that new recruits will bolster the police army post. So Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa sought to address concerns over whether the TTPS has enough officers to adequately staff the government's planned 30 joint police army post, saying new recruits are being added to the service as the initiative is rolled out. Now remember, not too long ago, it was Roger Alexander, as the Homeland Security Minister, who said that he would be making moves to increase the strength of the TTPS from 7,000, I think it was like 7,800, somewhere between 7,800 and 8,000 officers, to, I think it was 10,000 and 10,000 odd, right? It was basically like a 2,000 officer increase. Now, they just spoke about the increase, but we didn't hear about any plan as to why we would need 2,000 more officers. Because I remember other people saying, look, the police service has enough police officers. We have enough police officers to deal with whatever. I'm not too sure about that because, I mean, we know where crime was. We know where it is now. We know that we're under SOE, and we know we would like to move forward and hopefully see the back of that and move on to other things. But if this was the initial plan to implement these 30 police posts and increase the numbers in the police service, then I guess it kind of makes sense to up your numbers so that you have officers now in rotation at these posts. Now, these are recruits, and what we would like to have, I think, at those police posts, while it's going to be police and army posts combined, a joint exercise, I would imagine that some of these recruits will be utilized at these posts, along with maybe, well, obviously a senior officer. But I see that communities are accepting this and they have no problem with it. As we move on to the other headline, right, in the paper this morning, Tobago Police welcome joint security post to fight crime. So the Tobago Police are saying, yeah, we on board. And then you have residents, just now, this thing is John Boy. Residents in Mova, Bamboo, Arangwe support the police army post. While politicians debate the logistical maneuvering and statistical benefits of 30 joint police and army posts, those who will be directly impacted by the initiative are expressing strong support for the plan. And on Monday, Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisesa announced the locations of 24 of the 30 proposed posts. And the government intends to establish a joint Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force post over the next 4 months as part of its crime fighting strategy. So we are currently in August. SOE will end next month in September. I'm not too sure what the date on that is, the exact day in September, but it will end in about a month. So we're saying within the next 4 months. That gives you September, October, November, December. So by the end of this year, these police posts should be implemented in these 30 areas. And you know what? I think the only thing that matters in this situation, I really don't care what the politicians have to say. Who against it? I really don't hold no favor for no politician coming and say, no, we're not against that, and creating a whole narrative of nonsense. I think if people want it, give it to the people. It's that simple. If people do not feel safe in their community because they fear for home invasions and things like that, put the police post there. Because they are saying they accept it and they are feeling more comfortable with it coming, then that is all that matters. Is the safety, security, and the mindset or the peace of mind of the population. Now, what has to happen with these police posts is that these officers have to be properly trained to start with. Two, I understand the police posts will be bulletproof, right? But notwithstanding that, that's a security measure that will have to be put in place for the officers. But the post and the response has to be swift, all right? And they have to have the community's best interests at heart. There has to be an understanding of that, right? In order for them to execute this properly. Okay? It can't be that I went to the people come in to say I went to the police post and then police not even there. And when I went to make the report, they tell me to go to the police station. And all of these complaints that we get from time to time from the general public. Imagine that. You have an open door policy, but police still telling you in that police station, if you from Baratari and you're in Freeport and you go to make a report in Freeport police station, it has some police. I'm not saying police in Freeport police station. I just drawing an example. But it has some police now will tell you, well, no, you have to go Baratari to make the report. I've had countless people over the years come and call into the program and say these things. And the police know fully well that they have an open door policy and you can make a report at any police station. You understand? So if you get robbed in San Fernando, you could make the report in Port of Spain. You understand? So, and police still, it cannot be that you have domestic violence situations and people are going to make these reports to the police at the post and no action is taken or people are dismissed in a very, how can I put it? And, in an underwhelming manner that where the police not taking the matter seriously, you know what I mean? They just dismissed casually and sent back into that. No. If you're going to implement these posts, make sure that the first step is implementation. The next step is execution. It is how the police will execute their duties with the public in the community. And I think this is going to bolster or boost confidence in the police service if they get this correct. Because if you are putting police on rotation, all of this falls part of community policing too, you know. So it now becomes a community policing initiative as well. So the officers now, they have to deal with people in the community in a proper way too. You understand? You have to regain the trust of people in the community. It can't be like a beast and talking to people all kind of how. You're there to protect and serve, and most importantly, you're there to serve the people. Be a servant of the people, right? And not some sort of boy, director, you know there's yon sometimes. You know, not some sort of aggressive beast. You understand? Like some of them, let's take the problems to work and that kind of thing. To do that, right? Let me see how that work out. Anyway, I think that's it for the headlines. Unless there is something else. What else we had there? Oh God, the unions with the the unemployment thing? Or the clarity on the prison inmate work plan. You know, it's amazing, eh? I saw a post. You would swear, right? Based on some people's reactions to this, you would swear that Trinidad and Tobago is the first place that implementing and something like this, where people who have been sentenced to hard labor, 2 years hard labor, actually go out and do hard labor. You understand? It have some comments and stuff floating around on social media. I just had to shake my head. I would not even entertain debating those people, because obviously there had to be a kind of, boy, a special kind, you had to be a special kind of dunce to even entertain the kind of thoughts that they're entertaining. This is normal thing. When you are sentenced to hard labor, you go out and you do the hard labor for the specific period of time, and then, you know, it helps you to be reintegrated into society and things as well. There are many positives that could come of it. It's time somebody took the bull by the horn and started to do things like this, and I don't see anything wrong with it. And if the trade union seeking clarity on the prison inmate work plan, well, I'm very sure that you will get that clarity soon enough. And there was the other thing with the PAAC questions the Alsing's role in the drug supplier payments. Now, Director, you have a video on that? The PAAC, you have it? You have a news report on it? All right. So, the PAAC, boy, I tell you, this whole thing, the Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, they have raised serious concerns over the Ministry of Health's involvement in determining which pharmaceutical suppliers were paid by NIPDEC, questioning why former Health Minister Terence D. Alsing was involved in a process that was supposed to be independently managed by the State Procurement Agency. And the issue arose as the committee examined how hundreds of millions of dollars owed to pharmaceutical suppliers were prioritized at a time when available funding was insufficient to settle all outstanding bills. Now, this is a report courtesy TTT. This is part of what would have taken place at that sitting. But let's take in this report very quickly. Courtesy TTT. Yeah, run the report.
Administration and Appropriations Committee's inquiry into the state's acquisition of pharmaceuticals saw PAAC Chairman Jagdev Singh strained to decipher what he described as a curious confluence of circumstances. Principal Medical Officer in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Miriam Abdul Richards, who also formerly served as chairman of NIPDEC, was unable to provide a clear explanation of the criteria used to prioritize payments to pharmaceutical suppliers.
What could conceivably explain the smaller companies being denied payment of their monies whilst the bigger companies were paid?
I'm unable to say because I was not part of that prioritization process.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Asif Ali, backtracked to 2023, recalling outstanding bills amidst limited funding.
So it's not that we said in the NIPDEC, do not pay the small suppliers, leave them out. We said, use the loan funds to pay those suppliers, and the Ministry of Health will use our funds to pay the smaller suppliers. And that was.
However, Chairman Singh challenged that account, citing email correspondence.
You said, I find the payment to AP Scott low. And then you instructed Mr. Koja to leave out two small suppliers who NIPDEC, through the independent and fair and transparent process alluded to by Dr. Richards, had decided were deserving of payment.
Mr. Ali attempted to explain the decision-making process, including the involvement of former Health Minister Terence Alsing. Committee member Saddam Hussein inquired on whether they met with pharmaceutical suppliers, with Dr. Abdul Richards confirming that such meetings had taken place. Meanwhile, Labour Minister Leroy Baptiste sought clarification on a letter signed by the former Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Roshan Parasuram, which stated that he acted on advice from the Director of Chemistry, Food and Drugs Division and or the Principal Pharmacist. Cavion John, TTT News.
I'm particularly keeping my eye on that because, well, after the whole situation with Fauci recently, and you look at the players that are involved, you heard the names that calling, right? Well, it's Abdul Richards was in front of the committee, the Al Singh, Parasram, the usual crew now. You know what I mean? And I really hope that one way or the other, that people get justice one way or the other, brother. You understand? But there were some shock findings yesterday into the ongoing probe. It's a $1 billion medicine importation monopoly, eh? $1 billion. Not million, billion. All right? So there were some disclosures that it built on the medicine importer short-circuiting the system, getting quick approvals, access to foreign exchange, hurried payments, and there were some other official benefits inside of there. And then, well, the upshot is that the medicine monopolists, they could arbitrarily jack up the price then on poor people, right? Which would force poor people to pay whatever. Anytime you have a monopoly, that is what happens, okay? It's a lot that came out of yesterday, a lot. And when you sit down and listen, if you sit down and listen to it, boy, you just have to shake your head sometimes, boy. You know what I mean? But I'm back to that and paying attention to it because I think there's a lot of information inside of there as to how things were being run and who was being favored. You know what I mean? And how it was being executed for them to be favored. And I'm learning a lot of little things inside of there, you know, that was taking place. And you really had to shake your head. All right, we take the break. When we come back from the break, we'll open the phone line, take some calls. Don't go anywhere. Breaking On continues after this.
Every day, we're expected to show up for each other, for ourselves. What people don't see is everything that keeps us going. Because staying in the game isn't about one big moment. It's about showing up again and again and again.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supplier of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsayn, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
Air conditioning problems? Then look no further. A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an easy solution for all your automotive, commercial, and domestic air conditioning needs. With 2 convenient locations to serve you, A&K Air Conditioning Supplies offers you an extensive range of parts and services, including pressure test kits, refrigerator parts, front and rear evaporators for maxi taxis. They also cater for both foreign and local automobile models like Kia, Hyundai, Honda, Nissan, and more. more. So pay them a visit today at either of their two locations. Number 36 Alfonso Street, Sangre Grande. Phone 784-2707 or 386-5700. And number 133 Corner Roland Street and Bonaventure Main Road, Gasparillo. Phone 312-2245 or 782-9720.
Are you tired of managing symptoms without understanding why your body is breaking down? Setwayo's Holistic Health Clinic provides consultation and re-education sessions followed by nutritional therapy programs designed to address the root causes of chronic disease. The clinic works with clients in Trinidad and Tobago and internationally, helping people rebuild the body through correct nutrition, not drugs, supplements, herbs, detoxes, injections, or quick fixes. Setwayo is also the author of You Are Not Sick, You Are Malnourished, a powerful health book that has been the top-selling book on consignment at RIK bookstores nationwide every month since entering the stores. If you're struggling with cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, autoimmune issues, fertility challenges, digestive problems, or other chronic condition, book a consultation and re-education session today. Purchase the book at RIK bookstores nationwide, Nelson's Bookstore in Tobago, Amazon, or Gumroad. Visit setwayoclinic.com or call or WhatsApp 279-3935 or 761-1952. Setwayo's Holistic Health Clinic, rebuilding the body, reversing disease through nutritional therapy.
All right, people, so we're back, and we're going to get to the phone lines in just a little bit. We're 26 minutes away from the hour of 7 o'clock. We're back in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're raring to go. Let me just remind you, Chef Shiraz. Now, Chef's course that starts on the two courses that started on the 8th of August, they have already been, registration is over. He's closed off registration on that, so that's booked up. But the next few courses that he will have available is the food costing, restaurant and catering operations one-day workshop. So this is a one-day international, man, 50 over, it's nice. Ramsing Plaza Shagonas, and they're going to be talking about menu writing, cost and quality control, purchasing, profit and loss, portion control, wastage control, food yielding testing, shopping list creations, and more. Workshop material and refreshments will be provided. You will also get that certificate of participation. And this will be on Saturday, the 22nd of August, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. All right, so make sure and get registered. You can contact Chef on 3724639 or 7375097. It is the Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy. And you can check out everything that they're offering at the chefshirazculinary.com. That's the website, chefshirazculinary.com. Okay. We had a few headlines there that we dealt with, basically around crime and things like that. The army that will be joining the fight in the drug trade and so on and so forth. I see that as a good thing. I see the joint police patrol and army patrol as a good thing with these 30 posts. But anything is up for discussion this morning. Hello.
Hello, yeah, morning.
Yeah, morning.
Morning. So what we want to do is we want to look at, I think what we should look at is the people who in these accountability roles, right? What sort of, let's say this, disclosure of funds, right? Disclosure of income, right? And do an audit on them, right? All these positions they hold, the accountability and where they get the money from.
Right.
Right? And start a track from there. Right? So you see one of them sitting on the panel there, yeah, she had a big part to play in all these different boards and positions. Right? Let she disclose some of the funds and where she get it from.
Okay.
Right? And when it comes to the police post and all that, that's a real good thing. But again, exactly what you say, they need better training.
It go come down to that. It go come down to the training. Yeah.
Yeah. So we could put 10 million posts outside there, but if you don't have the training in place for these officers, you wouldn't get the performance you need.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks a
Yeah?
lot.
I
Yeah.
want.
I think it comes down to that. It's very simple. It comes down to training, execution of their duties, the way that they, the execution of the duties and the way that they deal with public all comes back down to training. But that's what's going to come down to. Listen, I don't expect any rollout of any plan to hit the ground running with no kinks, right? I expect that there will be issues. How long those issues, it takes for those issues to be sorted out, and how long the program takes or the initiative takes to settle down and get rolling, that's a whole other thing, right? But you have to expect these things. You understand? Nothing runs perfectly. Morning.
Good morning to you, Mr. Stephan, and welcome back to Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, man. But don't let them know that on radio, eh? Don't let them know that on radio. That between me and you. I ain't going back out on radio until next week, yeah. I have something to say about
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Stephan, let me tell you something. And when you go and you buy a new car, and you're telling yourself that car will work real good because this is a new car.
Yeah.
Eh?
You're not expecting
You're
that
expecting
many issues with it, yeah.
Right. So now, this is something new that they're bringing in there, right?
Well, I wouldn't say it's a new initiative. I would say I would say they're bringing back an old initiative that could be effective. I wouldn't say it's a new. I wouldn't say it's a new thing. Yeah. But go ahead.
But
make your point.
Why I put it so? Sometimes that's why I talk about the car, because an old car, when they read out what the old car do, they just bring it into a new car and bring it better.
Okay.
You have to understand what I really see. Right. So I have no problem with it, right? But why I against it in a way, because I have an AK-47 and it will hamburg me. So I will be against it. But if I have no AK-47, it will have no problem with it for me. Right? So I know me, I know AK-47, so I love what they're going to do.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Stephan.
All right, no problem. 327-7400, 327-7400. Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir, good morning.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy, yeah, it is, sir. Penniless condemning what the government tried. But up to now, she put forward a solution. No? All them doing is condemning. Now, I just forget we in a SOE. I want to know why I just forget we in a SOE. Because it don't affect me, it don't bother me, because I ain't doing nothing wrong. When I drive in, my documents in order, and I have nothing to worry about. And I welcome that they put in police posts all over the place. That would increase the police visibility and would speed up response time to crimes in certain areas.
Right.
Okay. You understand? So who vex is only because they have cocoa in the sun. But because the one thing, you see how them soldiers out there, but some of them soldiers thirsty, you know. Back chat our soldier and see what happened. They might be going by dentist next week.
All right. Look, I think I'll say just on that point. I'll make a point to that. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. You asking one day I'm trying to get you. You're the first man, as a public figure, I hear talk the truth about slavery. No other person doesn't say that the tribes capture the tribes and sell them to the white man. They want to give the impression that the white man went there and captured the African and make them slave. It's the African capture the African and sell them to the white man. Nobody don't speak the truth. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, no problem. Oh, I think that's the only point I made with the transatlantic slave trade. Yeah, that's how it was. I mean, the Europeans, that was the whole transatlantic slave trade, you know. The Europeans went to Africa. They traded guns and rum and whatever else, whatever goodies with the African leaders. And in return, the African leaders gave them people as slaves, which they went to the Americas and they took up position on the plantations and tobacco and cotton and all these things, what they used to manufacture and then send back to Europe, and Europe used to turn that into product and then go, and it just used to go like this. That's why they call it that transit. It went on for 300 years. So, I mean, it was a horrible, horrible, horrible trade. Very inhumane. I think it was the worst form of slavery in the history of the world, but that is what it was. Morning. And it still happens today. Morning, yeah. In other ways, but it still happens. What's up?
Stephan,
yeah.
Let me tell you something. I feel I need to go and check some urologist or some kind of thing to see what's going on with my head or something, but because the kind of things I just be hearing people talking about, I just wonder if there's really know what it is be saying. We talking about training police, we talking about police posts, we talking about every single thing, but we are talking about who causing the crime, why we need these police posts, why we need to train people for we to behave. You understand? And until you see our country so small, have to be focusing on training people to control how you behave. We could ever say we living in a democracy or we are an independent country. We are such a dotish people that just don't know what we want and keep on looking for every single excuse and quick fix to fix we. You understand?
I think, Barakpo, that's our biggest problem. Our biggest problem is that we do not know what we want. We don't know. We don't know what we want.
Exactly. And the thing about it is we here in this place. So now we have to deal with our behavior and our way of how we just live. And then we want to be first world. We want to compete and compare with all the other different countries that moving forward, and we just remaining in this dotish place that we can't come out of. And when it comes down to the bottom line, that we complaining about jobs and all that, do they know how much this little initiative is going to cost taxpayers again? Just like how when them little idiots and them waste the entire schooling, and then they're looking now to blame the government because the government they provide a next avenue for them to go and get another chance, while the people who make the sacrifice and spend the money and benefited from this free school system are the same people who have to go and find jobs to support these MyLat and MyDis and CPEP and all this kind of nonsense for people who just want to fail and expect to live easy and free in the country. And that is where we need to focus on. Don't focus. We didn't suppose our police in Trinidad and Tobago. You suppose some people say, hey, behave for yourself and move on. You understand? We didn't have prison and jail and all kind of thing. But as usual, and then again, this scenario we're taking place with the pharmaceutical is another example of the 1% monopolize and control the whole industry, and the rich are to get richer. Have a good morning. Enjoy Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. Yeah, man. Try again. We go. Morning.
Yeah, morning.
Yes, I.
Yeah. This thing going on long time, and we keep going back in circles. We keep coming back in circles. But it is good to reflect the past so you can know where you're going forward. Yeah.
But are we? Wait. Hold on. What are you talking about exactly?
Yeah. Well, and most likely is a lot of things, the slave thing. Slaves, they always had slavery, If you read the Word of God, the book, it had slaves.
But
what
I'm saying is
they weren't treated.
Yeah. I'm just saying it ended in one form of it ended, and they just figured out a way to continue it in another form.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
That is so correct, because the leaders we have now, right? They're practicing the same thing that the leaders before, when they had just ended slavery, they practiced that. Is everybody just copying what they see the others do, right? And what we're living in here right now is a state where it's not that I don't know what I want to know. I want what you have. That's what we're living in. I want what you have, and I want to get it by any means necessary. And see the religious aspect of this, the entire community, they teach you that we're not under law, we're under grace. So obviously, first to begin, you might have a song say, if the priest could play mass, who is me?
Right.
So obviously, we in a state where we start lawless, because if we go to the religious aspect and they're telling you we're not under law, we're under grace, right? But the same word tell you render the things unto Caesar's what is Caesar, and render the things unto God what is God. But everybody missing the big point that they speak the word, and the word is we not under law, we under grace. So actually, we live in a lawless society. The people who abide by the law of the land is the people who, hey, you see me, I don't want to spend my life in lockup, I don't want to have a police record, I don't want to this, I don't want to that. It has people who make sacrifice and they take the lockup. Yeah?
Right.
But it has people who spreading the intent, and they don't even know they're doing that. But they say, we're not living under law, we're living under grace. So when you could violate the 10 Commandments, telling you, don't covet your neighbor's goods. You going ahead coveting your neighbor's goods. You want what your neighbor have. You want what your boss have. And it going up the ladder. And if the man on the top, Stephen, the fella below, seeing where he could do the same thing too. We living in a lawless society, but we just pretending that we're not lawless, but we actually lawless.
Okay.
And if we watch, if we use, you remember we had some watchwords: discipline, tolerance, and production.
Production, yeah.
Right. If we use the watchwords, or if we use the 10 Commandments as watchwords, our society, the society in the world will develop and be a better society. But everybody wants something, and it boils down to they want something material. They want something, they idolize material things.
All right.
And a covetous man is an idolatrous.
Okay.
A man who covet, whether he covet another man's wife or he covet a material thing, he's an idolatrous. That is the first commandment. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Okay.
Right?
All right. I get the point. All right. No problem.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Yeah.
Bless.
You know, I know we were talking about the police post and security and thing and the slavery thing came up and whatever, right? But if all I want to get all the truth here, boy, all I feel like I can handle the truth, boy. Do you feel like I can handle the truth, you know? If I really tell all you know what I mean? Narayan Singh is here. If I really tell all you know, all these conversations that we have been having in the country, right? I mean, I was out the country and I kind of spoke on it. I'll tell you what I was trying to figure out, right? With this whole, you know, since, you know, all this slavery thing came up and the whole conversation and race and whatever, right? I don't really want to go back there, but you know I asked somebody the other day, right? I say I was born free or I was born a slave? How you was born, director? You ain't born a free man? And in the development of your life and stuff, you went to school and you got an education and you had the opportunity to work and pay your bills and get a mortgage for a house or own a car and everything, right? You don't think, to me, the faster we learn to accept that we are born free, with the freedom to become what we want to become and be who we want to be, the quicker all that old talk will subside. But I don't want to go into that. Because the other point I was making to somebody over the weekend is, when we're talking about these subject matters, right? I'm a Trinidadian, Our Portuguese roots. Right? And Guyanese roots. But Trinidadian. You think I know who my great-great-grandfather was? You think I even care? No, I've been real. Just so I call her. Director, you know who is your great-great-great-grandfather? Who he is? He said Chris Brown. He's a clog, yes? No, I'm serious. If I open this phone line, and people are honest, right? And I ask you, who's your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather? Very few people will be able to answer that and then give me the whole history or the family tree. I'm sorry, maybe I built differently. Right? But here what I know. I know I had a grandfather named Stephan Reis and Frankie Raghunatha. Beyond the two of them, I never met my great-grandfather, neither my great-grandmother, or my great-great-grandfather, neither am I even interested to some point in finding out. Because I have lived my life for 49 years as a free individual with the freedom to achieve. Right? To achieve what I want to achieve. At times I have failed miserably because of my own lack of ambition in my younger days, but I have picked myself up and I have reached where I have reached, right? And the people that have been important to me is the people that I have had by my side, that I have lived with, that I have loved, that I have sometimes fallen out with, but people that I have had a human interaction with in my 49 years of living. That would include my mother, my father, my grandmother, my grandfather, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my sisters, deceased, my brothers, right? That's a life that I have lived. You think I out here dwelling and going through the day studying? Well, I wonder what my grandfather, great-grandfather was doing, boy, and what kind of struggle he fought. And that kind, you think I out here studying that? To do what? Keep me back? And I say that to make the point that I have often tried to understand how the common man in this day and age is so emotionally attached to slavery and Emancipation Day, when man getting gone down every day and all they're going about all their business like normal. Think about that. You share it in a group chat and you don't know that person. Might be a black man just like you. Could be somebody of my ethnic group just like me. We watch it on WhatsApp, so God, our next man dead and we go about our business. So if in that little moment there, we don't even stop to dwell or think or sympathize or empathize with an individual who just get gone down or somebody who just died, or a little child that couldn't get an operation or some kind of thing, or get the medical assistance to assist them because they had cancer or some kind of sickness. If we just go about with business like normal and we study them things, you really telling me that you carrying the burden of your ancestors from hundreds of years ago? And you know what? That's the problem. That's the problem right there. It's put there as a day to commemorate something that you have absolutely no understanding of. You don't understand it. I don't understand it. None of us understand it because we live in a different era, different time with different opportunities. So I have always been confused, and maybe somebody needs to explain to me where the emotion does come from, or is it some sort of, I don't know, sympathetic? But I've always struggled to understand that, and that is maybe because I live how I live, I think how I think, and I move on how I move on, and my life is my life, and nobody stops me from living my life. And you know what's even more comical in Trinidad and Tobago when we have these discussions? I could understand if these discussions taking place in the United States of America. We have about 330 million population, and the African American is a minority group, or the East Indian population is a minority group. Soldiers and peoples, all living in Trinidad and Tobago, you are the majority group. What the hell is your problem? So I have always struggled with that. So anyway. Morning caller. I guess I'm just brave enough to open my mouth and say it, because like everybody else want to keep you, and it's just because the caller mentioned, we still existing in this cycle. Yeah, because you want to exist in that, because you keep going wrong in this circle of conversations and beliefs and emotional attachments that you ought not to be attached to. We're in 2026, bro. Morning.
Morning. Wipe that sweat on your head. Eh? You're sweating in here.
Boy, I think it's the sunburn, my head peeling, but go ahead.
No.
Anyhow, go ahead.
They say everything is relative. We are really not free. As you are born, you are now disciplined. You are now, as they say, cultured and all kind of different things. So you are dictated to as to what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Society says that we want educated in order to get a job and all kind of thing, and we have natural talents and everything. But the African people are not looking at what they are being able to gain and the progress that they have made. You know, the best athletes are Africans, the best basketball players,
exactly,
the best singers, the best dancers, you name it. And but what happened? They have not been able to. They have not been able to control. So the people now who controlling them now is using that for a particular purpose. In Trinidad, it is used for politics and nothing more. So I want to move on from that, because
I too have to get out of my chest now, boy, because I try to understand what is the
but some people have to you have to explain to them how they have progressed and how they have excelled. And to understand the value and the worth. So we will come to that. That's another discussion. Right now we deal with the criminal element. In my area where they want to put up this police post, I see a lot of new cameras and things already installed. Now my question is now whether these people involved in the police post will be able to go into the village and abandon the post, or they will be able just to man the area out there, like if they have a APP and that a vehicle so and so XYZ, and handle certain circumstances and actually create some level of discipline on the road in that area that they're in. And would the stations now that they have now, who were dealing with the villages before, would they be able to handle that? And then would the authority that we now have sufficient vehicles now to handle these matters, to have a quicker response time for that happen? We welcome any initiative as far as dealing with crime is concerned, because You have to try something in order to see if it will work or not, and then tweak it, adjust it, and to make sure things will work. So we welcome anything. But the real issue here now is that how do we now get this now into we know we have police in the schools. How do we educate children in the schools about the laws and what are the consequences now to culture them now to stay away from criminal activities and to move in another direction? So this has to be a multi-pronged task, which part we just don't deal with the actual issue of response time and arresting people and locking them up and have them doing work on the outside, as the minister is saying. But how do we now culture people now to prevent crimes from happening? How do we educate the young people coming up and point them in the right direction and look at them now to be more productive and more disciplined?
Yeah.
And this is the direction that I'm looking at, I'm thinking at, because I'm quite aware that the people wouldn't be able to abandon the post or run on the body in the village.
Okay.
So it's a whole different situation. So we yet to wait to see how this is rolled out and how it's going to work, and we welcome anything, anytime. You have a good day, man.
All right, man, no problem.
And drive ahead, wipe your head.
Yeah, cool, listen. All right, so we got to move on because we have Mr. Ramkumar Narayan Singh there with us. And, I just want to thank everybody for the calls this morning. But, and when I talk this, so I'm talking about both, because as soon as one conversation come out, the response is intentship. You cannot compare the two and this, that, and the other. I've had enough of it. I don't know about the rest of you. And to the government, I think what is happening now, since the announcement of these 30 police posts, that is where you ought to be. The opposition will oppose. They will. I mean, it's their job. It's a job to make life difficult for you. But if you're going to constantly get drawn into this tit for tat nonsense, I don't see you coming out on top. I think you ought to just drown out the noise, like I do, and just move on and do your job. And one of the parts of the job, and a big part of that job, is planning out how you're going to approach the crime situation when the SOE has ended in September. Right? Because I'm very sure that they don't want to go back into an SOE. We have a new U.S. ambassador that will grace us with her presence soon enough. And there will be discussions that will be on the table and strategy and all sorts of different things in different sectors, whether it is economy, crime, whatever it is. All of these things will be taking place. And you will get a lot of noise. Just move on and do your job. And let your performance speak for itself. I think we just over, we are about 9 to 10, we are about 10 months in from October when they laid out their first budget to now. So, it's time to just get on to the nitty-gritty, get things done, and let your performance be the headlines. All right? And listen, in this life, people, there are only two things that you ought to worry about. And those two things are very simple. Whether you're going to be healthy or you're going to get sick. All right? And if you somehow manage to remain healthy, you have nothing to worry about. And if you get sick, well, then you have two things to worry about. And that two things is if you're going to get better or you're going to get worse. And if you get better, you have nothing to worry about. But if you get worse, you have two things to worry about. You get worse, then you have to worry about if you're going to live or you're going to die. If you live, most likely you don't have anything to worry about. But if you die, you will have two things to worry about. And that will be whether or not you're going to go to heaven or you're going to go to hell. If you go to heaven, you have nothing really to worry about. But if you go to hell, well, you have two things to worry about. Original or spicy. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will get into it with Mr. Narayan Singh. So stay with us. Breaking On continues after this.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
If you want to be a better chef at home or advance your professional career,
Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy is the best place to be.
Some of the courses that we offer here at the Academy: Creative National Cuisine 1 and 2, Baking and Pastry 1 and 2, Kids Summer Cooking Classes, one-day classes at the workshop. We have Asian cooking classes and certificate in culinary arts, food lovers and professionals.
Start your culinary journey today with us at the Chef Shiraz Culinary Academy.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE, that is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Master Ganesh Bhargav offers powerful guidance for all kinds of life problems, doubts, confusion, protection needs, and clarity. His astrology practice comes from a powerful ancestral tribal lineage with over 500 years of astrological and spiritual practice. Bhargavji does not dominate or pressure clients. Instead, he focuses on fixing problems with care and balance. His reunion love spells and death reversal spells are designed to restore harmony and provide lifetime protection. This is not individual effort alone, but collective spiritual power working for you. Many clients notice strong positive changes within a few sessions. Call +1 868 347 2350.
All right, so we're back here with Mr. Ramkumar Narayan Singh, and well, of course, he deals with industrial relations and business consultancy as well. And today we are going to talk about unemployment. Yes, unemployment. I was wondering if you'd have tackled that, after the CSO numbers, because I was looking a little further back. Everybody's, I mean, even in the paper this morning, the unions have mentioned this 5,900 or something, so?
Yeah.
Right. It's let me say 6,000. 6,000 people unemployed as of the last quarter of 2025, correct?
As of the first quarter of 2026.
First quarter of 2026, sorry. And I was going back because I said, well, you gotta get context to the figure. If this is, in terms of the context I'm talking about, if this is a situation where everything was running hunky-dory for a long period of time, and now we enter the first quarter of 2026, and we've seen 5,900 jobs or people on the breadline. Or if there is a pattern that, of it fluctuating from time to time. But I'm not seeing anybody having that conversation.
Right.
So I don't know where you're going with it. But if you do go, and you don't even matter go back real far, you could just go back like 2023 or 2022. I don't want to say 2022 because we was just coming out of the pandemic.
Okay.
So we would say 2023, 2024, 2025, first quarter 2026. If you look at all the quarters, there has always been a fluctuation from what I have seen of unemployment. So you usually get like 5,000 something people at specific quarters. Right. So it looks like a pattern more than anything else, but I could be wrong.
So, Stephan, in Trinidad and Tobago, we have news reporting is very sensationalized, right? And coupled with that, there's always some kind of political rhetoric taking place in regards to this data as it relates to unemployment. So I want to try and, I'm just going to make one statement in relation to the actual article that was published and the information issued by the Central Statistical Office.
Okay.
For me, to give people proper perspective, if there is really an interest and intent, you would present some type of comparative information. And if we were to exclude the pandemic period, you could go all the way back to 2008 when there was that economic meltdown. Right?
That far back?
Yeah, you could go all the way back.
Do you need to go that far back?
I will tell you why you need to go that way. To see, in order to properly have an appreciation for the dynamic of paradigm shifts that have taken place in Trinidad and Tobago's industries, you have to consider all the way back. So in 2008, there was a major meltdown, you remember. It was a global meltdown in regards to economies. And there was a major shift in the globalized
yeah, I remember
powers.
that in 2008.
Right.
That was the, oh God, what's this big company out in America?
The US had a major crash.
Yeah, they had a crash. Right. I can't remember the exact, the specific, I remember that.
Neither can I. But
yeah.
There was a knock-on effect in relation to all countries. And as we know, we trade in US dollars internationally. Yes. Right. So if you go all the way back and you look at figures in Trinidad and Tobago as it relates to unemployment, you would find that there's a pattern of numbers that come up consistently and aligned with what you have happening in the country and the population numbers. And what you have on average, there's always about 4,000 persons that are unemployed at any given time in this country. Right? Now, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think we've ever come down underneath that. Right? Now, let's look at the data that people are ignoring, Stephan, in this country. And when I say ignoring, it's not deliberately by some. Maybe by some it's deliberate, but for the most part, it's because the attention and the focus on the issues and the circumstances is always shifted. Okay. First off, in 2000, if you look at all the industries that have been shut down, for whatever different reasons, whether they are allowed to shut down, they chose to shut down, or they were forced to shut down, the point is they shut down. And you look at the shifts that took place, and then you'll come to understand that, well, to have 6,000, a figure of 6,000 persons unemployed, the world is not ending. So let me point out to you. First off, we had a major shift in the construction sector in this country.
Right.
There was a 1,000% growth in rental units being utilized in this country. So people moved. Years ago, most people would annex their homes to accommodate extended family. So you find there was a lot of construction with people extending their homes or growing their homes, and families living in one environment, right? And then you had people who were aspiring for home ownership, as opposed to the alternative of squatting. But with the development of rental units in this country, private sector, major development, there was a significant growth. And if anybody's doubting me, just look at most of the built-up areas or the developed areas. Sawa, Arangwes, East-West Corridor, Shagwanas, major development with rental units. People instead went from home ownership or annexing their families to their existing families to renting. And that immediately had a knock-on effect on the construction sector. It's been steadily decreasing. I think right now the retail construction is down by about 30%.
Wow.
Right? So when you look at that, renting means I ain't fixing nothing in no apartment, so there's no maintenance. I ain't repainting every year because I don't own that. The landlord owns that. And the landlord not repainting every year.
Right.
Right?
Correct.
And a lot of different things that has contributed to that.
Yeah.
And then you have the container housing units that has taken the market. Cost is effective, it's efficient, so people just drop and live. more or less, right? So all of these things have contributed to the construction sector, which fuels a major part of our employment structure in Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Well, right now we have nothing going on.
So that is, well,
I ain't seeing anything
relatively,
going on.
yeah, I get you.
No road and paving, no, well, I mean, that's,
well, that's a
government.
different thing now.
That's a whole different thing.
Right.
But we're talking about, big construction projects. I'm not seeing anything going on really. Not even HEC, I mean, HEC hire contractors.
Correct.
To build apartments, houses, so on and so forth.
Correct.
But I'm not seeing that, all of that.
That has
kind
significantly
of,
diminished.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making in alluding to that is that you've had a lot of different factors that affect the industries in Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of the industrialized sites have downsized significantly. Oil and gas is downsized. All right. Now something has happened. There has been if those things were allowed or totally impacted on the employment structure of Trinidad and Tobago, what would happen? It would have been worse. But there has been growth in other avenues of business operation, entrepreneurship, etc., etc. There's another thing that during the pandemic affected our employment structure: the influx of migrants in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, realistically speaking, who is actually tracking the employment status of these people? And these people surviving, right?
Can it be tracked?
Well, I do think if you can't even determine whether their status
is illegal or illegal.
Right? So my point is, you have a lot of factors. I can just give you two major ones.
Yeah.
That are influencing our employment environment. And for me, what you're seeing there are figures that, in my opinion, is not something to be alarmed about. It's more something to use as a reference for planning the development, the continued development of
those are headlining paper, they sound the alarm.
And again, sensationalization is a valuable a valuable tool in this country. But the bigger picture, Stephan, is really, okay, what if you're saying it's an alarm, if people are saying it's an alarm, what is the plan, right? And in my opinion, private sector development is a critical factor in this process. Now, it is accepted that the national economy does not have the finances that we need for the government to carry the burden of employing those 6,000. There's also another factor that wasn't published, but should have been published alongside this. And this is where, and this is the factor of the salary range or the employment category that that workers fall into. So you have your lower income, your middle income, and your higher income. Right? It would be interesting to also see how those percentages align. Of those 549,000, I think it is, or 69,000, I might be wrong with the figures, of employed persons, I would have loved to see the CSO say how much of that is private sector versus public sector. That would be a good factor for us to look at. Yeah. And I would love to see where they class these employees as it relates to their salaries.
But does it not always come back to public sector in terms of government and the handling of the economy? In terms of the private sector, all right, so if the private sector has an increase in unemployment, their unemployment statistics have grown. So we have more people unemployed in the private sector than the public sector, right? Does that not speak to maybe the economy that we're under right now, where the private sector can no longer maintain to keep these people employed because of certain cuts or certain shocks, economic shocks?
First off,
does it come back?
The largest employer in this country is the government.
Okay, right. So yes, the largest employer is the government, correct?
Right, and unfortunately, regardless of who you want to tack it on to, it seems as though that has been by design. Right? Okay. So when you look at most initiatives, I'm just using the solar as an example, right? You have a lot of government funded efforts in a lot of these new initiatives, right? And if you look at most of the complaints that have come out over the years, it's always tied back to, what the government is not doing or doing, etc., etc. Here's the thing. The government, in my opinion, needs to make it more effective and more accessible for private sector investment. In my opinion, there's a lot, and just bureaucracy still continues to exist. I hear it, that they have been making efforts and whatnot, but just give you an example, just to point out something. The process to have land moved from wherever, whatever status it is, to approved land, final approvals for building, construction, development, that is absolutely bureaucratic. They have just removed the Ministry of Health involvement in the process, right?
Okay.
And that was just one small step in the right direction. But when you look at, if you just look at the map of Trinidad and Tobago, all the development, a strip going straight across the east-west corridor, and a strip coming down the west coast of Trinidad, leaning into the southern part of Trinidad. The development of this country has been very, in my opinion, laissez-faire and to some extent lazy in the approach to how it should be.
Yeah.
The decentralization is too slow. We still don't
But that's another topic too that people don't want to talk about, decentralizing,
Well, just look at this. We tout party fete carnival. We still do not have a dedicated facility in this country for fete. There's been a whole lot of hullabaloo about it, but there's no effort to monetize that. We have car enthusiasts in this country. They pay a lot of money to move their vehicles all through the Caribbean. And the system there is not adequate, in my opinion, for the quantum of enthusiasts that we have. No monetization of it. I was happy.
I agree with you. I have been up to Wallafield for some of these drag racing events. I have seen up there be packed and stacked.
Correct.
But we not. I mean, it's from what I understand, we have the best race course in the Caribbean. I think the only other one that could touch us is I think Guyana. But I think our safety and our track and everything
I don't know, Stephan. I hear in here, I just don't know.
So anyhow, but it's you mentioned something with that. But go ahead.
The point is, it had one. Everybody, Wallafield is the one, right?
Yeah.
Why? Why just one? Is it that we don't have facilities? Is it we don't have space? Those things are not true. And cocoa industry, all of these things, there's no major effort to really monetize these things. Very lazy in my mind. We still continue to be an economy that's dependent on government intervention, government participation. And from my perspective, the government's efforts should be very much focused on pushing that initiative and not wanting to have control over everything, but getting the right people involved, serious-minded people.
Okay.
So, and that is going to, in the long term, address the issue of employment. And 6,000 people, but in the grand scheme of things, is not a lot of people. That's the truth. Think about it. We are one.
Don't tell some people that, because for some people the sky falling. But like I said, if you go back, you just have to go back to around 2023. I mean, Mr. Reis went back to 2008 in his research. You see a pattern of it, right? You see a pattern where you have this drop-off of jobs. It happened under almost every administration. You have this drop-off where you're going to have 5,000 to 6,000 people at any given point in time unemployed. Right? Yeah. Does retirement persons that retiring, is that taken into account in those figures?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
CSO would count persons who are capable and able.
Capable and able. Yeah. All right. So that has nothing to do with you reach 60 and retire.
Of course. So next week we want to touch on that, right? As we close, next week we want to touch on NIB retirement. It's tied into the RSBA changes.
Okay.
And this process that people undergo as they transition out of the work environment.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah? Brilliant. All right, so that's our time with Mr. Narayan Singh this morning. Just finally, the unemployment statistics.
We're now at 6,000.
Sound the alarm or no alarm to be sound?
Well, the people who are affected, it is an alarm for them. But
right.
In my opinion, 6,000 does not mean that the sky is falling. It means that we need to work towards addressing it, but
it's not an eyebrow raiser, it's nothing to panic about.
It's nothing to panic about. It's something to be concerned about, but
not to panic about. Okay, all right. So there you have it, people. And of course, if you want to contact Mr. Narayan Singh, I do not have my glasses on, so you're going to have to call out the number.
615-8276.
Was that?
615-8276.
615-8276. All right, cool. So 615-8276, you can give him a call. You have any inquiries or you have any industrial relations issues that you might need some advice on, or business planning and things like that.
Of course.
Mr. Narayan Singh is the man for that. So make sure and get in contact with him today. We're 28 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock this morning. We got Dr. Watson coming up in a short. But thanks a lot, man.
Of course.
And interesting. It's interesting because I really went back and I checked it. I was looking for a pattern.
By the way, you know how
pattern is context.
You know how it is to get tradesmen in this country?
How hard?
Very hard. Ask
Tradesmen?
anybody. Tradesmen. Mechanic, masons, welders, real hard. Ask all the business people out there. Again,
serious?
All of that stuff affects it affects this.
So everybody want to be a doctor and a lawyer?
Well,
what is going on?
All kind of thing, but.
So you would say learn a trade?
Yeah, there are aspects of opportunities in this country that are on demand.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't have people for it.
I thought it was oversubscribed.
I want them to also publish statistics as it relates to vacancies and employment needs. It can't just be unemployment. It's also the information has to be holistic. It's not.
All right. All right. So I'll tell you what, people. We got to take a break. And when we come back from the break, I can accommodate a few calls before we get to Dr. Watson. All right. We'll do about 10 minutes of calls and then we'll get to Dr. Watson. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
At Adams Optical, we care for your vision with everything from stylish frames, contact lenses, and sunglasses, starting at just $595, to advanced eye care services. We also diagnose and manage conditions like glaucoma and cataracts with our in-house ophthalmologist. Additional services include OCT, VFT, and cataract surgeries. Visit us at San Fernando, Chaguanas, or Rio Claro.
Every day, we're expected to show up for each other, for ourselves. What people don't see is everything that keeps us going. Because staying in the game isn't about one big moment. It's about showing up again and again and again.
Welcome to Car City Trading, your #1 supply of brand new Korean auto parts. Come on down to lot number 78, Bamboo Settlement number 2, Valsayn, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday to get your Hyundai and Kia vehicular needs. Car City Trading has everything your vehicle needs, from a brand new head and blocks to engine parts, transmissions, suspension parts, body parts, electrical parts, braking system, AC system, even the smallest sensor, and much more. WhatsApp us today at 704-2246 or call us at 645-2603 and let us be your car parts solution. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and look out for our monthly deals and promotions. Car City Trading, quality products at unbeatable prices.
Concerned about the safety and security of your property? Then look no further. At Electromatic Gate Systems, they specialize in fabrication of gates, fencing, and much more. They also provide remote control access for sliding and swing gates and garage doors for residential, commercial, and industrial use. Have a design in mind? They can fabricate and motorize it into reality. Why choose them? They supply Italian-made motors backed by 10 years warranty, and you can ask about their lifetime warranty packages. Electromatic Gate Systems remains the sole authorized distributor for ProfoundNet throughout the Caribbean. Don't compromise your security. Contact them today at 333-GATE. That is 333-4283. Find them on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, or visit their website at www.electromaticgates.com. Their team is standing by to assist.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors, roti makers. Try Chic Lisha high quality, unbleached, bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Bleached flour and bromate flour is treated with chemicals that can cause cancer, and this is banned in Europe and many other countries. Chic Lisha flour offers a healthier option, being that it's unbleached and bromate-free. It also has a finer grain and a softer texture, lower priced and conveniently packaged in 2 pound, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. Available at groceries and supermarkets. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Chic Lisha Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit them at Warrenville, Canupia. Chic Lisha Limited. Quality you can trust.
Eden Heights Clinic is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. They offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prolozone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb bagging, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. Their professional doctors, Drs. Carlos Navarro, Brangwin Navarro, and Brian Thompson provide consultation services in areas of diabetes, detox programs, arthritis, sports injuries, heart disease, high blood pressure, persons suffering with knee, shoulder, and back pain. At Eden Heights Clinic, they understand that your health is your wealth. Get in touch with them to determine which service is the right choice for you. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations at 13 Montague Avenue, Trinity, at 41 Ramsaran Street, Shoguanas, or give them a call at 640-8985 or 613-7571, or send them a WhatsApp to 493-9196. Eden Heights Clinic is your right choice.
All right, so we're back. I'm seeing that the government now it appears that they're upping their communication game in terms of some of these initiatives that they're putting forward. Now, I have 2 clips here. I'll give you an example of what they're doing. Tell me if you get this last, hold on, Right. I would have sent you 7:34. Yeah, that's just now. You have the 30 post, the video that, okay. So they're putting out these little ad campaigns now. But I think it's looking like it's for social media. It's vertical. It's not horizontal like for television. So they're not okay. Yeah, but so what happened? We had to some ads. Run me to the post there.
Feeling safe should not depend on how far you live from the nearest police station. That is why the government is establishing 30 new police posts across Trinidad and Tobago. Each police post will bring police and military personnel closer to the communities they serve.
They will cover major roads, transport routes, busy junctions, and other important locations. They will support existing police stations, strengthen patrols, and widen the national security network.
That means more trained officers available to protect communities and respond when citizens need help. The purpose is simple: stronger presence, faster access to assistance, and greater confidence in public spaces.
New recruits are joining the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And more officers are coming.
30 police posts, more police officers, one connected national network protecting you and your family.
Promises made, promises kept.
Feeling safe?
Yeah, okay. So apparently they're putting out these little ads. At the beginning of their tenure, I said, your communication, you're not giving the public enough information, and you're not communicating properly with the public. But this is at least the start of some level of communication, because I think It's a good little video that they put out there. It's on social media. And there apparently are others. But you got to up your communication game. And that's all the public is asking for. The public is just, I think a lot of the chaos and a lot of the old talk and the back and forth and all this nonsense that's going on is because of lack of communication coming out of the government. But if they're going to start putting out things like this, the next option is whether or not people will find it and the channels or the platforms in which they post it. Because how your algorithm works, and this is what I need to understand as well. Social media is fine, but how our algorithm works is that if you are interested in this kind of content, let's say you are a supporter of the UNC, it will come up in your algorithm, right? And you will get it. But if you are a PNM supporter, you may not get that in the algorithm. Correct, fellas? I have it correct, right, with the algorithm? That's how it works. So like with me, what comes up on my phone, right, is not necessarily what the rector will see or what Chris will see or what you might see. I might be getting different information to what other people get in because of how the algorithm works in terms of how the algorithm is. It is like analyze. Right, so it analyzes what I'm consuming. Okay. And then it starts to feed me what I consume. Okay. So that's basically how it works. So like I say, while the social media aspect of things is one thing, there is a whole other, there are several other platforms that ought to be utilized as well. We're one of them. But you know what I mean, I just said, yeah, but I think it's good content, but they have to expand it. Hopefully they will sooner or later, but well, sooner than later. But we'll see what happens there. But there are these informative communication videos that you can access. All right, so we are 21 minutes away from the hour of 8 o'clock. How long is the next break? No, this break. How long is this break? The third break? Oh, I only have one more break? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, morning. Let's take some calls.
Morning, Stephan.
Yeah, morning, man. Go ahead. I forget
Welcome
the
back.
ranking was 15 minutes this morning. Next week is 30. Yeah, go ahead.
What happened is that I have a lawsuit to bring against you, boy.
You have a what?
What happened is that a lawsuit to bring against you. What
Against
happened
me?
From Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Religiously, I did get up 6 o'clock to listen to Breaking Dawn. But what happened on a Saturday morning when I'll get up cussing sometimes because I realize, boy, no Breaking Dawn has been a mess now, boy. So, but I used to cuss before, but now I get to understand how to accept it now. But I get up something, I used to get up and cuss. So when I wake up Saturday morning, no Breaking Dawn. But I understand it now, so everything all right. Good to see you back, man.
All right, no problem, man. No problem. Cool. Oh, God. AI telling you. Morning. One minute. Just now. I don't know how it switched from. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I said I used to have that problem with Luna on a Saturday and Sunday, and what I used to do was put on the reruns for her to keep her quiet.
Okay, wow. I tell you, Papa.
Anyway, what you're talking about there with the police posts and whatnot, I know, well, I heard about it yesterday, and I've seen it for the first time on your program here this morning, but how long you talking about getting communication out there and having that department?
Exactly.
I think they need to hire you. To do that part of it?
If that happened, then I would have to leave television.
No. As a part-time thing.
I don't know if they could do things like that. You see, I would, yeah.
They really need to get the word out there because people don't know. A lot of people don't know. Okay, bye.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Look, I've spoken about many things. This is just one of them. The communication. I think the communication is now kind of getting, I think maybe they prioritized other things first because of the situation they would have inherited, maybe. But, you know, I can't say that I'm not inside the government. Hello, good morning.
Arsenal to the world.
Huh?
Arsenal to the world, Stephan. Arsenal to the world. You not hearing me?
Yeah, what out to the world?
ARSENAL, to the world. Arsenal to the world, Stephan.
What is he saying?
Arsenal, ARSENAL.
Arsenal?
Gunners to the
Oh
world.
gosh, nah man. Nah man. Well, boy, the season right round the corner. The season right round the corner. We have red action in August and September.
Anyhow, that ad with the policing community, I saw it on TV6 first, on Marlon Hopkinson program, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, have a blessed one, man.
No problem, man. Yeah. So you see, I don't even know, and they say all kind of thing, you know, I mean, I have to make a few calls, like we have to get some calls in there and get it thing going because morning. Morning.
Yeah, morning. Hey,
yes, sir, go ahead.
That man that called before, they tell him like them do strike twice, right? You understand? The greatest second place team is what you talking about it. You understand, man? Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, cool.
I'm sorry to tell you. But City taking it this year.
Well, we will see.
You understand me?
We will see.
Right.
Yeah, man. Plenty things going on right now with the trade window. A lot of trades, a lot of moves being made, a lot of players being attracted to certain places. Yeah, boy. Morning.
Yeah, hello, morning, Stephan. Yeah, pertaining to the recruitment of for the TTPS recently, how is it that some people who applied have their qualifications and they haven't even received or acknowledged that they're not receipt of it or anything pertaining to a callback?
They have not gotten that?
No, they have not. I know one of the individuals, you have one in maths, one in English, one in physics, and not even a reply, to vet the document or anything like that. How is that possible?
I have absolutely no idea. No, I don't know how they're running the recruitment process. I really don't know. I could find out from either Greenwich or I could inquire through the Homeland Security Minister.
Please, can you do that again? This is in Tobago. I'm calling from Tobago.
All right, just repeat that one more time.
Pertaining to the TTPS recruitment, there are some people that applied who are qualified, and they haven't even gotten an email or call back to vet their documents and don't understand for what reason.
All right, no problem. I'll send Homeland Security Minister a message just now. Okay.
Right. I will WhatsApp you. Please try to respond because tomorrow is the interviews, for vetting of documents.
Okay, no problem.
So,
yeah,
thanks very much, Stephan.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I could squeeze. I wonder if I could squeeze that one as well. All right. I'm gonna squeeze this final one here because we got to get to Watson. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Stephan. This opposition leader, something had to be wrong in Sudan. I'm born and bred in Ariga. Let's deal with the last 10 years. Problem in Arima for water has always been a problem. I live in Malabar and we get water 2 days, 3 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sundays.
And you're saying this is an ongoing problem for the longest while?
That is, I live and born and bred in Arima, Stephan. So I don't know what's wrong with this one. She needs to go, there's a place in, what they call it, St. Anne's, and have to be evaluated because at the end of the day, Arima has never had a full supply of water. Never. Okay. And I am 67 years old.
But has it gotten worse or is it the same?
The same.
It's just the same thing. Okay.
If you just drive around in Savannah by Chinese restaurant, there is a valve leaking constantly. Going on the Malabar Road, there's a big line at the top of the Savannah, where it's about in their ground. There are 30 years that line has been leaking. And there's so much more.
Okay.
So when this lady talking about water in Arima is a problem for the UN, I don't affiliate myself to any party.
Right.
But sometimes something's wrong with this PNM. Something's seriously wrong with them.
I seen the headline you're talking about here. Beckles alleges political victimization in Arima water crisis.
Nonsense. Total nonsense. It has been so since they have been in power, Stephan.
Okay, so nothing has changed.
10 years from now, give the when the UNC was in power 5 years ago, for that 5 years, ever since I know myself as a child growing up, it has. I used to go in a river they call Dongwai Convent. I used to have to go and fill water every morning.
Okay.
Every morning I had to go and fill water.
All right. All right, cool.
Thanks
for the info. Yeah, man. Yeah, I saw that as I was going through the paper yesterday when I got back. Well, while I was on the way back from Antigua, I saw the headline, Beckles alleges political victimization in Arima water crisis. But the caller here from Arima, who says he has been living Arima all his life since he's a little boy, he is saying that Arima has always had an issue with water, with a proper water supply. They get water like 2-3 times a week. Now, I am hoping that this administration, you could take down the ad, we're going to the break. You can take that down, Director. Right. I am hoping that Barry Padarat and they can definitely get these problems solved, these water issues, right? And I'll tell you what, Padarat has already mentioned that there is a lot of infrastructure that needs to be addressed, maintenance issues and so on and so forth, and replacement of old pipes and that haven't been changed for decades and all kind of thing, right? And all of that is causing a lot of the problems. So the thing with that is that when you have to do those replacements, it takes time. You're going to have disruptions. So I don't know how people are going to react to that aspect of it, but it is definitely work in progress. Now, Robert LaHunt, to his credit, remember when he was put as the Minister of Public Utilities, he did say that WASA's infrastructure was way outdated, right, and needed a total overhaul. He said something to that effect, and it would have cost some billions of dollars to get it done. So we know the infrastructure is not good and it needs to be changed and upgraded. How long it's going to take for them to initiate such a project, how long that project might take, how much disruptions you might have while the project is going on, how much understanding is going to have, how much sensationalization and politics is going to be played in the time that they're going to take to get those problems fixed, I cannot say. Because they're not even on the brink of addressing it on that level just yet. So we're going to see what happens. Like I said, you're just 10 months in. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Sorry, 11 months in. So you're 11 months in. If their communication is stepping up, I guess we'll see where they're going with the communication. Maybe it wasn't prioritized because there were other things to prioritize. I don't know. But I think this is what the people want from the government. I think they would prefer you all to get on to the work and just ignore, if there are investigations going on, whether it's Balize House or CPEP and contracts, that's the police work. You understand? Personally, if I was a minister and the media approached me to ask me anything about Balize House investigation, if it's in the headlines or whatever, I say, listen, you're talking to the wrong person. I'm not a police officer. You had to put that question to the commissioner of police or the investigative officer and have them deal with it. And wherever the investigation goes to the police, it goes. You know, so there are a lot of little things that, you know, I would have stayed clear of for now if I was in that position to do so. And I just get on with my business and do my work and let it speak for itself. So I think if they transition over to that, but that might be a good move for them because, like I said, there's a lot of noise out there, a lot of chaos being created, and this budget that is coming up is going to be even more anticipated than the first budget, right? Because they would have had a year in office to address whatever they could address. Now we're in August, so I would imagine that the Minister of Finance and his team is probably looking at the state of the economy, the foreign investments, the energy sector, the manufacturing sector, all the different sectors, and they're looking at the position and the trajectory, and they're going to design the budget in a way where, you know, it will speak to all of that, whatever is coming. We know that the World Bank and others have projected positive turnaround in the economy for Trinidad and Tobago at the end of this year into 2027, and we're almost there. So we will see if the table turns for the positive, or if we are stuck in neutral, which is not going to make people happy. People want to see progress. So we'll see if we are progressing when the minister lays out this second appropriation bill in October. But for now, we take the final break and we get to Dr. Watson. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this.
Eden Heights Clinic is one of the most advanced state-of-the-art alternative clinics in the Caribbean. They offer a dynamic combination of life-changing treatments, including prelozone therapy, live blood analysis, halotherapy, limb backing, nutritional programs, colon hydrotherapy, weight loss programs, oxygen baths, and more. Their professional doctors, Drs. Carlos Navarro, Bronwyn Navarro, and Brian Thompson provide consultation services in areas of diabetes detox programs, arthritis, sports injuries, heart disease, high blood pressure, persons suffering with knee, shoulder, and back pain. At Eden Heights Clinic, they understand that your health is your wealth. Get in touch with them to determine which service is the right choice for you. Visit them at any one of their 3 locations at 13 Montague Avenue, Twin City, at 41 Ramsaran Street, Shoguanas, or give them a call at 640-8985 or 613-7571, or send them a WhatsApp to 493-9196. Eden Heights Clinic is your right choice.
Welcome to Caribbean Tourist Villa, your home away from home in the heart of Port of Spain. With over 25 years of trusted hospitality, Caribbean Tourist Villa has been a reliable choice for both business professionals and vacationers. Our guest rooms are thoughtfully equipped with all the essentials for a relaxing and productive stay, and our tranquil pool area is perfect for relaxation after a busy day. We've created the ideal space for you to relax, recharge, and enjoy. Give us a call to book your stay today.
Master Ganesh Bhargav offers powerful guidance for all kinds of life problems, doubts, confusion, protection needs, and clarity. His astrology practice comes from a powerful ancestral tribal lineage with over 500 years of astrological and spiritual practice. Bhargavji does not dominate or pressure clients. Instead, he focuses on fixing problems with care and balance. His reunion love spells and death reversal spells are designed to restore harmony and provide lifetime protection. This is not individual effort alone, but collective spiritual power working for you. Many clients notice strong positive changes within a few sessions. Call +1 868 347 2350.
If you're planning an event, make us your first option. At Reality of a Dream, we can make your event memorable. We can assist in planning your corporate functions, moderate gatherings, family occasions, christenings, and more. We also cater for weddings and other special occasions. Our newly renovated venue includes a majestic entryway, which takes you along a path to a fantastic indoor facility which can accommodate up to 80 dining guests. A recently completed, fully air-conditioned, beautifully designed wing, which maintains the theme and flow of Reality of a Dream, adds 30 extra seats for dining guests. In total, we can now seat a total of 110 dining guests. Come see for yourself the splendor that awaits you. Walk along the path and make your way to the breathtaking, well-maintained swimming pool and gazebo, and also the entire grounds of Reality of a Dream. We've also updated the Dream Suite, which comes with all modern conveniences, where guests can enjoy the feeling of an exquisite retreat overlooking the entire area. Reality of a Dream caters to professional events. We provide secured parking for guests, so call us at 332-6880 and ask for Harriet, located at number 15 Moses Avenue, San Juan. Reality of a Dream, making dreams come true every day.
Greetings to you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior, the sweet Rose of Sharon and the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. I am Ezekiel Johnson Fort, and I am pleasured to inform you of the newest branch of the Christian Union Church, Trinidad and Grenada District, San Juan Revival Ministries. If you are desiring prayer, healing, or that closer connection to the Heavenly Father, then the place to be is at San Juan Revival Ministries. And allow me to ask you one question. Are you living a life without Jesus Christ? Do you desire freedom from spiritual bondage? Then the only solution to your problem is Him. In the book of Matthew chapter 11 and verses 28, it says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." And this is mostly speaking to those of you who are Christians and you might not have a place to fellowship. Come. Fellowship with us at the Christian Union Church, San Juan Revival Ministries. Come, be edified and equipped by the Word of God, preached by the man of God, Senior Reverend Bishop Dave Donation. You will be empowered by the move of the Holy Spirit of the living God. Come and be comforted. If you desire to be an environment that shows compassion and care for your spiritual needs, growth, and development, then fellowship with us at number 1 Bagatelle Corner, Saddle Road, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I look forward to seeing you there, and God bless you all, and may the peace of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, be with you now and always. God bless you all.
Every day, we're expected to show up for each other, for ourselves. What people don't see is everything that keeps us going. Because staying in the game isn't about one big moment. It's about showing up again and again and again.
All right, so we're back on Breaking Dawn. I just sent any message here to Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander that the guy asked about. Right. All right, yeah, cool. So we got Dr. Watson coming on for the next 10 minutes. And then we wrap up with the birthdays and anniversaries and so on and so forth if we have any. I do not know if we have, no, we don't have, no, that was yesterday. So I'll check to see what we have, all right? Well, we don't have any, good. Well, okay, so that means we wrap up right after. Okay, no problem. So is, good, the doctor's there. Dr. Watson, morning to you.
Morning, Stephan. How are you today?
Yeah, morning. We're going with the volume, fellas. Yeah, go ahead and talk. I hear not very low, just so I was getting that perfect. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
You give me a second, go ahead with what I'm about to talk about.
Yes, go ahead, yes. So the topic this morning.
Good morning, everyone. everyone. And today we're going to talk about vaginal health. And we decided to talk about that. This is a very hot topic in my office, meaning a lot of women come in with these issues. And I thought, let me get to a bigger audience so that these little tips that I'm going to give you will help you understand how to maintain a healthy vagina. So the first thing you have to understand is the pH of the vagina is 3.8 to 4.5, which is very acidic. Meaning, if you do anything that disrupts that natural pH, will cause the bacteria, the healthy bacteria, the lactobacilli that lives there, to be disrupted, and therefore the bad bacteria and the yeast will grow if you disrupt this natural pH of the vagina. I just wanted you all to know that so that you will understand why I'm going forward with the things I'm going to talk about here. So the things that change the pH, things that are out of your control, things like perimenopause and menopause, because that hormonal changes. When you have your periods, a lot of women will tell me, oh, just before their period or right after their period, they have this itching and this feeling of discomfort. So these are the natural things that we can't change that can actually disrupt the pH. After sex could also change the pH of the vagina. If it is that you go on antibiotics, so that's a large population of people, when I put them on antibiotics, I make sure I also put them on probiotics at the same time and after the use, so that they can get back the good bacteria in the vagina instead of having things like yeast. Because once you change the pH, as I said, all the bad things will start happening. Other big thing is scented products. What kind of highly scented Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works, Lux, Protex, all them kind of things below the weight. And I need to express this. When I tell women, please either use an unscented soap, unscented product, no soap at all, just water. Some women don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. Or you can mix a concoction with a little bit of apple cider vinegar and water, and this maintains the pH, especially if you're having problems like what I just described. So now we're going on into the things to avoid. Well, you know what this is, because this is a female kind of topic, but there's something called douching, where women love to go down the road to the pharmacy and buy this product where they could insert into the vagina and wash it out. Like they think they need to wash out all up to their brains with this product. Do not douche at all. So those of you who do it, whether you use an instrument to do it or whether you do it manually, do not do this. This will change the natural pH and cause problems to occur. You have to always remember just the scented products. But I need to go in a little bit more depth to the scented products. This will include things like using pads or tampons that have a scent, or panty liners that have a scent to it. It will also be your detergents that you use to wash your clothes. People love to buy all them scented products, and you put in a cup big so in the laundry, like if you're a vagrant. You're not vagrants. You're not sitting outside for 20 years with no change of clothes. You just need a little bit of it and dilute it, or see if you can get an unscented washing detergent. And the reason I say dilute is unscented laundry detergents are very expensive. So the ones that you have, you just need a little bit of the actual product and dilute it before you add it to your clothes when you're washing your clothes. Like cotton. Please wear cotton underwear. And you see things like thongs, everybody for carnival has probably come to my office after, because they're wearing them thongs for carnival for 2 days. And because of that, all of that disruption, especially if you're using these thongs, sometimes the bacteria from the back passage could go forward to the front, and that in itself will change the pH of the vagina. So if you can afford to not wear thongs unless you're going to the beach or you're playing your mask, please do. Just wear breathable cotton underwear that's comfortable. Okay? If it is after you have sex, what you should do, and a lot of people don't do this, is that you should actually go and pass urine, and that's to avoid a whole different thing. And that's to avoid UTIs, urinary tract infections. And if you can, please wash with just water from front to back, right? This can avoid the change in your pH. The natural things that we could do, other than the things I just discussed, with washing with the apple cider vinegar or with unscented soaps, using unscented products in that particular area. You can also take probiotics, because in probiotics they have the lactobacilli, which is the good bacteria that lives in the vagina. So I just wanted you to go through this, because the most common things that you can get when you have this, when you get these infections, would be yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis or vaginitis. All right. And we are trying to avoid that, because that one, you can have a very, very horrible odor. You can have severe irritation and itching that can occur, and you'll have a different discharge. So if you see that you're having a discharge that is green or yellow, or if it is that you're having a discharge that is clumpy and white and very itchy, these are the things that happen when you disrupt the pH of the vagina. And if you are getting these things, please go and see a doctor. Or, you can try the natural things that I've just said to you. And if it's not working, please go and see a doctor, so that we all can have happy, healthy vaginal health. Right. That's my topic, Stephan. Anything you want to add to that?
All right. I don't know what I could add. It was a very, feminine topic. Nothing wrong with that. I did not know apple cider. I know apple cider vinegar good for all kind of things, but I didn't know it was good for that too. And outside of that, what about bleeding? Like,
okay.
Yeah, like beyond the period, like beyond your monthly, yeah.
The period could mean many other things. It could be that you're going through your perimenopause and you're entering menopause. It could be that you have this thing called, it's no longer called PCOS, it's now called PMOS. So women that have that can have irregular or prolonged type periods. Women that have fibroids in their uterus, fibroids in their womb, this can also cause excessive bleeding beyond the period. Or a very big thing here is if women that have gone through perimenopause and are in full menopause, meaning you've had absolutely no period for 1 full year, and you start to bleed, that's called a postmenopausal bleed. And that's actually a very urgent emergency thing that you should go directly to a doctor, because if you have no estrogen, then why are you bleeding? So that is more what excessive bleeding is, meaning people that have these problems most likely will have bleeding beyond the period, but not necessarily infections based on changing your pH.
Oh, so that have nothing to do with the change in the pH? All right.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, yeah, I guess I did not know. I mean, I've always heard of douching, but I did not know that that is a thing that women ought not to do.
Well, Stephan, the other thing is all these products that they sell in these different pharmacies for vaginal health. When you open these bottles, Vagisil, for example, I mean, I don't know if I talk about people's product or anything, but you smell it. It's highly scented. And women go out there because they're having a different odor or they see different discharges. Going out to buy these everything. The key to this is using things that will maintain the pH, and that's why, because the pH is very acidic, 3.8 to 4.5 is a pH, that's acidic. Therefore, using apple cider, that gets it back to that pH, washing with apple cider, or washing with just water, or washing with just an unscented soap. These things are very important. Because I tell you, people just go and buy all kind of nice thing and want to sit down in bubble bath and have all kind of bubble all over the place and the whole place smelling like lavender and vanilla. And that is what will change the pH. So I'm just saying, you know, maybe once in a while you could do things like that, but if you do end up with having a discharge or itching or a difference in the vagina after you do things like that, please go check the doctor so that we can treat it and give you this advice. The advice that I would give women when they come in my office, I will give them the treatments and then I will say all of what I said about how to maintain a good vaginal pH, and that will remain a vaginal healthy pH.
Okay. Well, Doc, thanks a lot. I'm very sure that the women out there have been educated this morning on that topic, and they should be interested. I mean, look, all the topics, I mean, topic towards the you know, women is nothing is wrong with that. I think women are more health conscious than men, and they do visit, you know, their doctor more regularly than men, because I think they're more problematic then. You have more things to see about, whether it's hygiene or health or whatever it is. Women, I think, have more worries than men. So I think that was very informative. Thanks a lot. The audio again. Just now, Doc. That's on hand. All right, yeah, go ahead.
So just they feel very embarrassed when they have these changes in odor or changes in discharge because they worry about what their boyfriends or their husbands might think. So yes, this is a very sensitive topic for women, but I just thought it's a big topic and that's not discussed enough.
All right, well, Doc, thanks a lot, and we will chat again soon.
Anytime. Take care, Stephan.
All right, you too. So that is Dr. Watson there, and hopefully to the women out there it was very informative, and you know, usually some people are very uncomfortable to have those types of discussions, or you know, but Dr. Watson never fear. She don't have no fear of discussing these things on television and bringing the information to you, and that's great. All right, so we got to wrap things up for today. We do not have any birthdays. Nobody was born today. Today was a day off at the hospitals. All right, God took a day off. And we will be back tomorrow, Friday, to wrap things up. Oh, is Chef coming here tomorrow? Oh, I am the one that have to book Chef? All right, I'm going to do that. People, we out for today. We will see how, you know, the plans and the projects materialize. But, you know, I thought it was a good discussion this morning. I kind of got a couple, that off my chest there. If you ever want to have a discussion on it, I'm here to have a discussion. And remember, issues that relate to those things are not debates, they are discussions. And they ought to be kept that way. All right? And don't be afraid to have conversations about uncomfortable things. You know, sometimes we need to discuss the things that are uncomfortable in order to make 2 steps forward. All right? So, with that, we out for today, and we wrap up the week tomorrow, Friday. Goodbye.